I am certified pet professional Amy Lee. The only difference between you and your groomer is knowledge, techniques, and tools. It is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the grooming industry. So stay put as we get started on this journey together today. Hey, thank you for joining me live from the grooming table. I am Amy Lee, certified professional pet groomer since 2003, but it is absolutely my pleasure to share with you the secrets of the grooming industry, my friends, so you can provide quality care for your beloved pets at home. And that's what we do here every Monday at 5:30, live from the grooming table, Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we're gonna do something fun. It's fun. It's a little crazy. It was a little upsetting, so you might be prepared. There could be some tears shed. It's a little sad, you know. I have this little bulldog who does not like to have his nails trimmed at all. He's deathly afraid of it. It's so sad, and he makes the most horrible sounds when you're trying to trim his nails. It sounds terrible. So I've only trimmed his nails one time prior to the demo I'm going to show you today. And I'm going to show you what he does in this demo and how we're going to try to correct it with that peanut butter trick, you know the one where everybody's putting peanut butter and saran wrap around their head and let the dog lick their head and they're trimming nails. Well, I didn't go quite that far. I did use the peanut butter and attach it to my grooming arm. I'll show you. Just watch the demo. Okay, we're gonna see if this helped, because I have a lot of people that are often making suggestions on this channel when it comes to working with some difficult dogs. They're thinking, food rewarding, food motivating, that type of thing could really get you through a lot of those fearful situations that dogs are afraid of. And I really believe that it depends on the dog, honestly. Some dogs, like this bulldog, he is highly food motivated, but his fear just kicks in, which is the same with, a lot of people say, well, we should maybe get a chill pill for our dogs if they're upset for being groomed or having their nails trimmed or whatever. But as a groomer, I can tell you, those chill pills just chill the dog out for the ride over. Once his adrenaline kicks in, whatever it is that's causing the fear of having his nails trimmed or having a clipper near his face or whatever those fears may be, his adrenaline overpowers any pill. Unless it's a super strong pill, and we don't want to put our dogs through that, because that's dangerous. You never know how your dog's going to react to certain drugs, so don't ever just give them something and think it's going to be okay. But let's just take a look. Now listen, guys, if you have questions when we get back in this chat after the demo, fire them at me. That's what we're here to do, solving all our problems. I have some tools here I'm going to share with you tonight, but we are focusing on nails, so we will be sharing everything nails tonight. Okay, we're going to try to stay on topic. That way we answer as many questions as we can and clear up as many problems for anybody that we can, or just chat about things, okay? So let's watch that nail demo. I got a little surprise for you in this. You'll find out when you watch it, okay? All right, here we go. I'm so glad to see you guys. Thank you for coming. Here's our demo. Guys, this is little Gus. Little Gus has a bone in his mouth. He loves his toys. He really, really fears having his nails trimmed. As you can tell right now, he knows that we're getting ready to do some work there, and he's not liking it. So we have seen these peanut butter challenges all over the internet, and they tend to prove to be quite successful. This is my dog, Gus. I have two Gus's. This is little Gus. He's shaking a little. He's upset. He knows we're going to trim nails. We acquired him over Memorial Day weekend, and he's super, super awesome part of our family. He belonged to a friend, and he needed to come and live with us, so it worked out great. He's a wonderful dog. Only problem I have with him is trimming his nails. He screams. I'm going to show you what he does before I try to do the peanut butter trick. I'm going to show you how he feels about having his nails done. And mind you, it bothers me too. I'm not going to upset him, but he cries. He chose to come in here today with his bone, so I'm wondering if he's going to drop that as soon as we get down to business. So he just definitely fears having his nails trimmed. So little Gus, you really going to ignore me? You have your back to me. You're really being stubborn. I think we're going to try to trim a nail and see what little Gus does. And then we're going to see what we can do to make it better for you. Are you listening? He's really not happy. So let me just give it a go. I need him to stand. Stand up for me, little Gus. You can do it. He doesn't even want to stand. Come on, honey. And his nails are really long. I trimmed them already, and it was not pleasant. He cried and carried on like crazy, and he's really protecting himself right now. It's okay, little Gus. It's okay. He's not going to stand for me like I need. So I'm going to, all right, I know. Honey, I'm going to, let me leash you a little closer because you're, come here, little Gus. I know you've got your back to me so that I can't work with you. Honey, I'm sorry. It's part of life. Okay, now I do have him hooked here to my groomer's helper. It has an additional hook, which is nice because it keeps him close to the grooming arm and it keeps him facing this way, which is easier for me to work with him. Don't be upset. All right, so let's give this a try. I want to show you. Okay, good boy, little Gus. I know, honey. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it. I don't want you to be upset. And I can see you're very upset. You have to trust me. If we don't trim those nails, they're going to break. And that's going to end up being worse for you. Let's give it a try, okay? Then maybe we'll get some peanut butter. I'm sorry you're upset. All right, let me see. Can I see this foot? That's a good boy. I can see it's very nice. Little Gus. See, I know, honey. He is so petrified. Okay. I don't like to upset dogs. Now with Darcey, I was able to talk Darcey down, and little Gus does love all the attention he can get, but when it comes to nails, he's not going to be fooled. But he might be fooled with some peanut butter. Okay, let me try one more time. Good boy. Okay. Always try to be very calm when I'm hoping to trim nails. I know, baby. Can we just trim one? Can I just... See? Okay, let's just relax. So, and that's what happens. Now he's got his back to me. He's not happy with me. Okay, honey, you just take a moment. I'm going to whip up some peanut butter for him. See how this works. Do you smell that peanut butter, little Gus? All right, T. I don't want to load it up too much. Don't want him to get sick, but let's see if this works. I'm going to put this on a bone, and I have paracord through the bone. This is one of Gus's bones. Oh, he can smell that peanut butter. He's sniffling over there. Big Gus is hanging in the back in there saying, what in the world is going on here? All right, now he is a very food-motivated dog, so I'm going to tie this to my grooming arm. Okay, little Gus, do you smell that peanut butter? Oh my goodness, it's smelling so good. Okay, we have to back up. We have to I don't want you to get peanut butter on you, because then you're going to be in my bed stinking like peanut butter. What, you like that? Okay, we may have to apply a few times. What is that? Oh my goodness. I have it all over me too. It's so good. Let me see. Oh, it's a good boy. Yes. That peanut butter is so good. That peanut butter. Yay! Good job, baby. Oh, he's such a good boy. Okay, and want more peanut butter? You are doing so good. Is that good? Get your peanut butter, baby. Stand up. Is it good? Is it good? Okay, good boy. Little guy. Well, it's working a little bit. He's upset. Okay, I know, baby boy. I know, baby boy. Let me see. Good job. Is that peanut butter good? Okay, you want some more peanut butter? Oh, he's so hard to even get to. All right, baby. Oh. He is resisting every way possible. Okay, we're going to take a break. We got 1 foot done. How's that peanut butter? Well, he smells like peanut butter. We're going to take a little break and we're going to move to the back foot, okay? We just reloaded on our peanut butter. Let's see if we can do this back foot. Just relax, big boy. And I'm thinking that in time, okay, he will accept this. But he is just so upset. I love you too, baby. I know. And see, this is why it is important to have them hooked. We got the back one done. He's just terrified. Would he bite me? Probably not. He would probably go like this to me. But if he was a client dog and I wasn't sure, that can be quite intimidating, you know? So here, get some more peanut butter. I think that we are going to improve with time, so we're going to continue. I'm going to go ahead and do the other back foot. Would you like some more peanut butter, baby? Would you like some more? I need to reload. More peanut butter. You're being a little bit of a piggy bulldog. Let's take a look. Good job. How's that peanut butter, buddy? Good boy. There's a good boy. Okay, we're on foot number 3, and I think we are improving. All right. I am going to show you guys how you would apply Styptic powder if you went too short on a quick. It does happen, so don't freak out. That's what Styptic powder's for. So I'll show you now. Now, I did not make any of his nails bleed, which is a good thing because I'm trying to make progress with this dog. But this is what I would do if I got one too close to the quick. So this is nail safe, quick stop. It's all kind of the same stuff. It's all right, honey. I think you're eating way too fast. Yeah, let's just relax, okay? But what this does is this will stop the bleeding, and it's just a powder. Can you see that? Just a powder. So all you would do is lick your finger, dip it in the powder, and get a little bit on there. Now, I did not quick him, but this is all you would do. You would take the nail, press and hold for about 10 seconds. And that's how you stop the bleeding. For about 10 seconds. Put pressure on the nail that's bleeding. Okay? That's it. That's how you would use quick stop. Good boy. Now we're going to do his front leg. Okay, guys, he's reloaded with peanut butter. Let's try the front foot. That seems to be the worst one for him. Good job. I'm trying to keep him in a comfortable position. It's kind of hard. It's okay, but see, keep in mind, this front hook here is helping to keep him close to the bar and his mouth away from... Okay. Don't you want your peanut butter? What's this? Is that good? Is that good? That's for good boys. That's for good boys. Yay. No. No. Good boy. Now maybe we will get somewhere in time. This is what I have to... Oh, honey. See, I did not quick his nail, but he really hates it. I understand. And he sounds so sad. I'm trying to keep his foot in a comfortable position. That's kind of hard. Good job. We got one more. I'm so proud of you, little Gus. Good boy. Oh, don't cry, please. Breaks my heart. Okay. Oh, my gosh, it breaks my heart. Okay. And it's very hard, guys, when they behave like this because you really need them to be still. We're all done. You're good, honey. I'm so proud. Now get your peanut butter. We really need them to be still for this because we don't want to quick their nails. Now I'm going to try to, since he's all done, he's just having himself some peanut butter. I'm just going to try to let him calm down, still on the table. We did all 4 of his feet very successfully. We did not quick not one of his nails, which a dog like little Gus behaving the way he does for nail trimming is easy to quick the nail, and even just a little bit is not the end of the world, but it can still bleed a little, so we have to take care of that. It doesn't really hurt the dogs as much as you think unless you go really short, and then it would hurt. It would honestly hurt. So little Gus is just finishing up his peanut butter bone. Quick little tricks that you can do when you're hoping to trim your dog's nails, and especially if they struggle. You did notice I put a towel under little Gus. You could, he's still trying to keep me away from his nails. You could put a little rubber mat, like a bath mat. Dogs feel secure when they're elevated if they have something, you know, they're not on a slippery surface. And so that would be one thing, is to put a mat down to help them get footing on the table. Baby. I also like to have them hooked with this second hook. You guys know I like that. It keeps them facing the direction, and they feel a little bit, you know, stable and secure on the table, meaning that they're likely to feel a little bit of confidence and feel my confidence and to get these nails trimmed if they are secured properly. If they feel they've got too much play, like if you're trying to, you know, wrestle around on the floor with your dog to do those nails, they're just not going to do it. It's okay, baby. You know, they're just not going to do it. They need to feel somehow a little bit restrained, and they also need to try to be calm. We have to try to get them in a calm state. So did the peanut butter work for little Gus? I'd say yeah. You saw, I'm gonna redo a clip right now of the first time I tried to trim without the peanut butter. And then with the peanut butter, we were able to make progress, and hopefully next time we'll make even more progress. So little Gus, peace out. Say peace out. Peace out, little Gus. Nails are trimmed. Happy birthday. So we got through it. I just want to say, hey Jamers, how you doing, buddy? Jameson, what is it? What's your channel name, buddy? Sports and Gaming. That's my little friend from the campground. He was reading me all my comments this weekend. He said, hey, did you hear this one? Did you hear this one? I said, I try to read them all, Jameson. I do. And we were chatting about all the comments. It's so funny. Anyway, I love you all. I see we got some newcomers in here tonight, so let's give a welcome to everybody who's new, because you landed in the right spot, guys. We are a great group of people, and we are so glad that you are here. So there's your welcome, and don't ever forget that you got to come back every Monday at 5:30, because great things are happening here. So let's talk about it. I saw a few of the comments. I was trying to keep up here with you guys, and one person did say about, you know, what about putting the plastic wrap around your head? Well, the first time I saw that anyway, I thought, and as Andrew's Pet Grooming said, well, that's a little close to your face. Probably not a good idea. And as you can see, little Gus, he was not liking having those nails trimmed, was he? Well, do I really want that attitude at my face? Heck no, I don't. At least when I'm behind him and kind of pulling his paw down a little, I can stay out of the line of fire. So I think that's important. And to be honest with you guys, I would never suggest that anybody put plastic wrap and peanut butter on their forehead and try to trim their dog's nails. I think Andrew agrees with me 100% of that. Andrew's a groomer too. That would be dangerous. That's asking for it. And you saw how little Gus was at that bone and the peanut butter. He was trying to focus on that. But it's so hard for him to let go of the fact that he is just so deathly terrified of having his nails touched or trimmed. So he got through it, and I am expecting that each time that he and I are working together consistently, it's going to improve. I do not have any disbelief that he is not going to improve. This was the second time I trimmed his nails. The first time was even worse, guys. So this time when I brought him in, he was shaking right away. He knew what we were going to have to do. He doesn't mind getting a bath and all that. He's fine with that. But when it comes to the nails, he knows, and he's so afraid, but he can get over it. Look at what Darcey, the little dachshund mix that I did, that was a great video, guys. I think it's linked in the description of this one. You should definitely go watch it. You'll love her story. She was worse than him with nails. absolutely horrible. She would actually do alligator rolls in the grooming loop on the table. And it is, how do you work with that, right? Well, I'll tell you, the only way to work with it is to get somewhere with the dog. That's it. I can't have her in that mindset and just go ahead and try to trim her nails and say, well, this is just too bad, girlfriend, you're gonna do it. You know, it's not nice. We can't do that. I want her to accept it. Somebody else had commented about that. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. Was it King the Yorkie official that did that earlier? I think you said, no, it was somebody else, a new face. I wasn't sure who it was, but I appreciated that comment, saying how, you know, you work with them, you can learn, you know, you can let them make the decision to work with you, to let it be okay. Take a little break, you know, do another nail, you know, don't get them off the table. Just calm them down. When I say take a little break, calm them down. When they start to seem like they're in the right state of mind again, then let's continue nice and patiently, nice and gently. Don't get excited. Don't yell at them. It only incites them. You know, yelling is not going to help. I know it. People get frustrated. I do empathize. It is a terrible thing. We have to trim these dogs' nails. We have to get it done. But we can get it done safely, and the best thing to do is to try to work with the dog and find some common ground that every time we're going to get better and better. And I will tell you guys this. I had a pug for years, hubby, Go Groomer. You remember Nico? He was your buddy. Nico was absolutely awful with nails. In fact, I had taken him to other professionals before I was even a groomer, and they could not trim his nails. So by the time I was a groomer and had to trim my dog's nails, he was a total basket case about it. And I had to start from ground zero with him. And I worked with him. He was very food motivated. He always got a special bone treat, one of those ones that it's like a greenie, kind of like a greenie, that he could chew on for about 5 minutes after we were done. And he knew, man, as soon as we were done, I put that clipper down and good job, Nico. Got him immediately off that table and gave him that bone right away. And it didn't take long till he associated getting his nails trimmed with that final reward. And he loved those little chewy bones so much that he was a model citizen after that. It probably took maybe 3 or 4 times that we went through that reward process and me being patient with him, but still getting it done. And he would stand there like a champ. And I'd get to the point where I'd say, come on, Nico, we're going to go trim your nails. And he would start barking and carrying on because he knew that meant he was getting that bone. And I always made sure that I didn't trim his nails without him getting that special treat, because that's why he was working hard for me. That's what he said, hey, that's our compromise. You give me that and I'm going to let you do this. And we got through it. So I have no worries that little Gus and I aren't going to make progress. I know we will. I'll just keep trying. And it's great advice what you guys are throwing in the chat about, you know, letting them know that they did the job, that they did right. You want your dog standing. Did you notice how little Gus was always kind of trying to ball himself up? And that's what I tell you guys all the time. When dogs do that, they're afraid and they're protecting themselves. So that's their mindset. So you could see with him balling himself up like that and me trying to hold that foot out and trim that nail, he was screaming Mimi, right? His mindset was right there. It was already there. And I kept trying to get him to stand. Did you notice that? And stretch out his body and chin up. That boosts the dog's confidence. Believe it or not, it will. So if you can get them to boost up their confidence and stand there nice and proud, and then maybe clip a nail. If they start that balling up again, stretch them back out and say, this is all right, what we're gonna do. And just calm them down before you go for a nail right away. But try to get them standing and keep them standing. If somehow you have to put an arm under them to work with them, keeping them standing, believe it or not, changes their mindset. And that's important for letting them overcome a fear of a clipper or a nail trimmer or anything like that. It can be done. So don't forget that, guys. I saw some questions. One person had asked, I don't know where that was, but I want to say that because I do remember you asked, how did I become confident with working with the dogs? How does that happen? I can't really answer that. I think I just am. You know, I know I want to do what's best for them, and I want them to always be safe in my care at the same time. So sometimes that's a little stressful, but that's my mission when I'm working with these dogs, even my own, is I want them to know that I am confident. I am confident with what I'm doing. And I don't recall that there was like, you know, a moment that it just happened and I felt better. I was more intimidated when I first started grooming. I was intimidated more about what trim do I put on what dog. I was never really intimidated by handling the dogs, and I was never afraid of them. So maybe it's just that I don't have a fear of dogs. If there's an aggressive dog, you know, I kind of fear that, but at the same time, I still have this confidence about me that, you know, I'm a human. I should be able to outsmart this dog. Now, that's not always possible, but we can do it, I think. We can outsmart these dogs. So working with them is very important. It's part of training. It's part of handling them, you know, and I think what I need to do with little Gus a lot of times is just get him up here for table time. I honestly don't. I think part of that is the fear of this whole situation. I don't think he's very accustomed to it. So it's all fearful to him. He does trust me. It isn't that he's like, oh, I don't think Amy's going to take good care of me. I think he truly does trust me. And I have bathed him a couple times already since I've had him. Forced dry, brushing, all that. He doesn't mind that a bit. It's just nails. He's very fearful. So we'll get through it, I promise you. And I will keep you guys posted, and I'm going to have to make a video, an upcoming video, to show you how things are going, because I want you guys to track our success, little Gus and I. I want you to see if we can get somewhere. So that means you can too. And by tracking that success, I want you, you know, to share any of the secrets that I may have had breakthroughs with him and what caused that. I do think that the peanut butter helped us today. It distracted him a bit. I think next time it'll go even better. So I'm just going to have to keep trying with him. I swear we're going to get there. And I want you guys to be front row and center to witness that, because you're my people and we're in this together. Brenda, how you doing? Brenda says, I have a Yorkie who curls himself up and snuggles like crazy. He's not big on treats. Any suggestions? And I think that goes back to what I just said, Brenda, about if we let our dogs get into a position of protecting themselves, then that's where their mindset is. If you come into them at that point, you're invading their little protected space. So I think we have to keep that in mind, guys. You know, it's body language. Just look at your dog's body language. You know your dog. You live with them. So you know they're usually perky, ears perking. If they're and the ears are back, that means, oh, I'm just not happy. You know, I'm not happy. That doesn't mean aggression. It just means that they're uncomfortable, and you're going to try to do something with them that they're uncomfortable allowing you to do at that moment. Is probably not going to go well. Best thing to do is get some table time. Who asked that question? A little Yorkie question. Anyway, I'm so sorry. I think her name is Brenda. Brenda, that was you, Brenda. Yes. Okay. So wherever you're going to work with your dog, if it's on a picnic table with a grooming arm, if you can get a portable grooming arm, just work with them on if it's a small dog, on a card table, on your kitchen island, like Mary, MS loves to draw too. That's what she does. She has a grooming arm on her island in her kitchen, and that's where she works with her dogs. Put a mat down so they're not slipping around. That's another thing. If a dog doesn't feel secure in their footing and they're elevated on a grooming table or another table of sorts, they're already going to kind of be in a frightened state of mind. So the first thing, you know, really is to get them in a good state of mind. I think that's very crucial. Part of that is just working with them on those elevated areas where you're going to be trimming nails or brushing or clipping or whatever you're going to do. And start with just brushing up in their, you know, on their table. And you're handling them. That's the whole point. You're handling the dog and they're working for you. And after this starts to go well, they're going to feel proud of themselves. They're going to feel confidence being on the grooming table. And when they're on the grooming table, it's just you and them. It's an intimate moment. And they know that too. You know, so just make sure you're trying to create bonds with your dogs. when you're working with them on a grooming table, if you're doing any type of grooming or brushing with them. You're trying to improve your bonds with your dogs, and that is going to help you be able to work with them too, because they totally trust you. And it's just that simple, guys. It really is. We'll get that way. We'll get there with Gus, don't you worry. So Andrew's pet grooming, he said, Andrew, I think you have a Frenchie. Yeah, that little Gus was howling like crazy, wasn't he? That was horrible and breaks my heart. And Andrew says, Amy, I know for a bulldog, and for larger dogs it may not help, but for smaller dogs, have you ever tried a calming cradle? Is that a way that you would hold them? Probably. I could see, yes. I've watched a video about that, Andrew. I've never tried that myself. I usually just have them on the table, but I think that goes back to, like when I was grooming little Darcey. And that video, guys, I want you to watch it. That was pet grooming, untold stories of pet grooming. There's a little dachshund mix on the thumbnail. And I think I linked it in the description. That is a great video. I came so far with Darcey. With Darcey just being close in her vicinity, that gave her comfort. Now, is that the same with little Gus? I'm not quite sure. I can't tell how he's feeling yet, to be honest with you. He's only been our boy since Memorial Day weekend. So we're still all, bonding and getting to know things about each other. He's 3 years old, just like Big Gus. Kind of ironic, isn't it? Big Gus, little Gus, both 3 years old. And we've known him since he's a puppy. He's a wonderful dog. So we're just so happy to have him. Aren't we, honey? You love him. I saw you guys snuggling on the couch last night. All right. So, yeah, Andrew, I didn't try that. I've never tried that with little dogs, like you said. But I can see where that'd be benefit, because you're kind of, maybe it feels a little protective to them. It would feel good to them. And most of our little dogs are just companion-oriented dogs. They're just lap dogs. So that type of behavior would probably be reassuring to them. Sherry, hello, Sherry says, how did you come to get little Gus? He's a friend of ours up at their campground. We have a permanent site. And when we got our big Gus, we noticed this cute little doughy little Bulldog that they were running around with. And they had 2 kids. They have a little boy and a little girl, and they have an older daughter too. So, and I had to go touch this dog. You should have seen how cute little Gus was when he was a puppy. And I used to take big Gus up to play with him. They were both the same age. They were little. They played well. Little Gus has got some energy when he's playing too, I'll tell you what. And we just always got a kick out of him. We, obviously became friends with the family. We camped together. We saw them all the time. And anyway, they separated, and things got hard with the dogs and the kids and what to do. The kids were enough. They had little kids. And so back and forth and all that. And Gus was just kind of lost in the shuffle sometimes, not intentionally, but his dad was not happy with what they were giving him. They said, I want more for my dog. And we talked about it, and I said, if I spoke for me and hubby, Go Groomer, I said, we'll take him. And we get to see his daddy all the time. We just saw him this weekend. And the kids get to see little Gus. That was their dog. So, and I also didn't want to change his name for that reason. He was Gus for 3 years. He's their family dog. He was their family dog. And we just felt like, well, let's just let him be Gus. That's who he is, right? So we have big Gus and we have little Gus. But it's all good. There's my mom. Hi, Mom. So what else are we saying in here? I see another question. Guys, put a line in front of your questions. I could really tell that I have a question. Carrie Madden says, what do you think about the happy hammock? Yeah, or the hound hammock. Absolutely, to clip nails since they're suspended in the air. I think that does work for a lot of dogs. I don't have one and I don't use one. I know MS Loves to Draw too, who may be in our chat. She's usually here. She uses one with her 2 Havanese for nails mainly, and I think trimming paw pads. She really likes it. Grooms by Janine, she uses it. I've seen her use it many times and have great success with the hound hammock. So I'd say I don't have a problem with it, you know. I just usually have pretty decent success trimming all the dog's nails that come into my shop. So I don't really go for anything, you know, I haven't felt the need for anything like that. And you know, I think with little Gus too, my objective, my thing with him is I want him to be able to stand here like a big boy and get his nails trimmed. It's only going to be a confidence boost for him. And that's the same with all the dogs that I groom in my salon. I want them to stand on their table. I know I have to restrain them a little bit for their own safety, but I still want to make sure they're always comfortable, safe, can't slide off the table, you know, and I'm able to work with them at the same time. So I am not opposed to the hound hammock, honey. I think it's helped a lot of people. And if you guys jump over to Grooms by Janine, you'll see her use that quite often. So if you want to know how it's used, she definitely has several videos on her channel. She's a mobile groomer now. She's got an awesome mobile van. So she can demonstrate a lot of that stuff for you guys. Yeah, Jane says my Yorkie lays down when you try to trim the nails. That's typically what they do. And like I said, that's protective behavior. That's them protecting their space and trying to protect their little paws and anything you may want to do. But it also changes their mindset when they're in that state. You need to stand them up and make them stand like a big boy and a big girl. And it just boosts the confidence a little enough that you can work with them a little better. And keep working from there. Don't give up. Don't say, she didn't let me cut her nails, I'm never trying that again. No. And don't punish her for being scared. Don't ever punish your dog for being scared. You guys know that. I don't have to tell you that. So you don't do cats. No, April, I don't. I do my own cat's nails. We have a cat, me and hubby. He holds her. I put my finger in her pad, and she puts her nails out, and I pop them all off. I don't have cats in my grooming shop. I don't do cats. I just think that cats and dogs in a grooming shop don't belong together. It's either one or the other. That's the way I feel about it. And I choose to work with dogs. I just feel like I have a better connection with dogs. That's why I love cats. It has nothing to do with that. I do love cats. Okay, so what else are you guys talking about? I'm going to show you a couple nail clippers, okay? I have 3 of them sitting out here for you, and we're going to talk a little bit about Styptic powder, okay? So all stuff people fear, I just want to get all these fears out of the way for you guys, okay? Andrew says, I do use the hammock, but only if I cannot do them standing on the table. Just more to do with the time limits. Yeah, it takes time to set that up. And if you can get them to work for you on the table, that's what you should do. Absolutely. And that's my theory too. Sherry says, does anyone have any ideas for finding a used mobile van? Ah, Sherry, I think that would be a great idea for you. In fact, you guys all know that if I didn't have this salon, I think I would be mobile. I think mobile's wonderful. I'd say, well, I know like Wagon Tails, Sherry. I'm not, Sherry, you're in the British Columbia, I think. Wagon Tails often has trade-ins and stuff like that. They, go to your dealers, people who deal the Wagon Tails, the Hand V vans, and get as much information from them. They're in the industry, they're in the space, so they would understand. Would a happy hoodie work? Pina, that's a good thing. I was thinking about that earlier too. Oftentimes the happy hoodies, they do help to calm dogs. So with little Gus, I'm not sure. My big Gus didn't like having it on. It bothered him. Then he was distracted. So I would say the happy hoodie is definitely worth a shot because it does calm a lot of dogs. It's that swaddling feeling that they like. Some dogs really like that. So Chris says, do you think the hammock would be helpful for grooming ears? You mean plucking ears? I'm not, or trimming ears. I'm not. I don't know, honey. If it would, I guess. I'm not sure. I guess if they're suspended a little bit like that, maybe they just really let their guard down. I don't know. I've never worked with a hound hammock to give you straight up answers on that. But if anybody in the chat has, please share it with everybody so we can all be better together, right? Chrissy says, or you just jumped around there. Okay, how do you know how much to take off at a time? I take tiny shaves and it takes forever to do one nail. Like the groomer and training girl in the video with you. Okay, well, I think that's where we all start, Chrissy. That's normal. We obviously don't want to take too much. How do I gauge how much nail I'm taking? I gauge it from the first nail that I trim. And I usually will, I'm pretty good at guesstimating that right away where the quick is. But I'll trim that first one. And then I kind of gauge the other ones from that nail. Now you can't always go by that. It's just a starting point. You'll want to kind of back off, be a little forgiving on that. And that's how I do it. So if you have to take 2 or 3 little snips at the first nail, and then you see you're right where you want to be, take a look at the length of that nail and say, okay, let's sort of judge the next one to that one, and vice versa, and so on and so on. That's what I do. Hopefully that'll work for you guys. APE Dog Grooming says, would you rather the owner be there to help, or would you use the hammock? Me personally, I don't like for the owners to be here helping me, because the dog at that point is just completely focused on the owner and not me. And I really want the dog to focus on me so we can be in tune and we can become a team and work together. So if the owner's around, oftentimes the dog does not want anything to do with the groomer. They almost act as if the groomer at that point is a pest. Now you don't want that kind of relationship with an animal that you're using sharp shears, clippers, and nail trimmers, you name it, ear pluckers. You don't want that kind of relationship. You don't want that dog to think you're a pest. You want that dog to think, I'm working for her right now. So you have to build that relationship with them. It's so important for you to have successful grooming with all the pets you groom, even your own. You have to build that trust in that relationship, and it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen with the first groom. I'll post a picture on Facebook, says Andrews, of my client in the hammock. Yeah, please do. Our Facebook group is so informative. You guys are putting so much good stuff up there. I am so proud of you guys when I jump in that Facebook group. We have a private Facebook group, guys. There's a link to it on my channel page in the corner. If you go to Go Groomer, there's a link to it. You click on that, it'll ask you if you want to become a member, because you have to ask for permission. It has to be approved. And it's a private group, so I know who I'm approving. And our group has grown pretty good, but boy, we've got some great people in there sharing some super stuff. They share pictures, they share trials, errors, successes. It's wonderful. I try to post in there too if I feel that there's something that might be helpful for you guys or inspiring. I try to post in there. I'm always in there, guys. I may not be as active as you think I am, because keeping up with the YouTube and the Facebook and emails, oftentimes, you know, it's just, I see it, I may just like it, you know, but I just want you to know, I saw it, I liked it, you know, I'm watching what you guys are doing, and I'm just so impressed. I really am. Okay, Linda says, hi Amy, would you say the Wall Bravera is the best trimmer to use on small Yorkies? A friend of mine is using an Oster really tiny. If it's a really tiny Oster, it's probably not meant for full grooms. It's too short of a blade. The Bravera, you could use the Bravera on a little Yorkie, obviously, if it's properly brushed and bathed and it's clean, no mats. You'd have to use some snap-on combs over like a 10 or 15 setting on the Bravera. People do use the Bravera for full grooms on small dogs mainly. So you could, but you would definitely have to use a snap-on comb, because the longest blade on the Bravera is a 10, and that's too short to clip the body with. That leaves no length of coat. And we all know, what do we know about clipping the dogs too short? If we take all that off, their skin has no protection. Their skin is the largest organ in their body, and their coat protects their skin. We can't take it all off. They need some protection, right? From the sun, from bugs, from the weather, you know, all kinds of things, allergens. So we talk about that a lot, guys, you know. Elizabeth says, is there a better way to pluck ears that doesn't hurt? I can't bring myself to pull the hair out of the ears. Well, Elizabeth, I can understand you being hesitant and afraid, but I can tell you it doesn't hurt them. So give it a go. Take little bits at a time. You're not going to hurt your dog, and only what's inside, down in the ear, not on the earlobe. That's like pulling out their hair. What's down in here is just, it comes right out. It's sitting in wax. It just comes right out. And if you don't take it out, I mean, you can leave a little bit in there, trust me. You got to get every little hair out from inside of their ear. A little bit's fine, but if it's packed in there, they're getting no airflow. They're quite possibly going to get an ear infection because there's bacteria and dirt and stuff sitting in their ears, build up. And with no airflow, it's not a healthy breeding place. Trust me. It's dark, damp, breeding yeast. That's what happens. So, you know, take your time, little bits at a time. Be patient and be confident. Be confident. Don't pluck until you know you're plucking the right thing, you know? So you just got to get in there and give it a go. I just wish you guys would, you got to get some confidence, okay? You don't want to hurt your dog. You're not going to hurt them by plucking their ears if you do it right. Carrie says, my groomer clips my dog's nails without a problem. Then at night, my dog sharpens them. When I try to cut the finely sharpened tip, he fights me all the way. Okay, I get where you're going. Why will he not let me clip them? A lot of times it could be the way you're holding his paw, Carrie. You know, most groomers, we know how to position that dog up there and tip that foot back so that they're comfortable and that we can see. That's important. And also, we want that paw away from their sight. I don't want to hold, I never have been a fan to take a dog's paw and hold it in front of me and clip their nails. That's just like saying, hold still, look what I'm going to do to you. They don't like it. It's like when we get shots. I am fine if I don't look at it, you know? If I look at it, I'm not good. So I'd say maybe think about the way you're holding your dogs. I have a couple videos on my channel about how to trim dog nails, and I really go into detail about the way I'm holding the dog, you know, so they're comfortable with their stance. If their footing feels off and they're doing this, they're not going to hold still for you. You know, they have to be quite comfortable and you know, just in order for you to proceed any further. So I'd say that's the first thing. Linda says, thank you. Is that the best one to go with? Is the Bravera? I don't know which one we were talking about, Linda. The Bravera is a nice 5-in-1 clipper. I'm really liking that 4-in-1 Kenchi flash clipper that I shared with you guys last week. I really like it a lot. I've been using it a lot all week, last week, and I think I like the blade better than the Bravera. I like it. I really like it. It's 5 speeds as well, which is kind of nice because I can slow it down if I have to, if a dog's really fearful, you know, around their face or their ears or anything like that. It doesn't vibrate a lot. The Bravera is a nice clipper too. I have had that one, used it in the past. Karen says, how do you restrain a dog on the table? My dog shakes it off. How often do you cut the nails? She jerks her foot back, cut too short. Okay. Well, I don't think you have her properly harnessed in her grooming loop. If she can shake it off, then it's either it's not a very good grooming loop. Like, you know, the ones that I use, they fasten into place. So, you know, you would put this around the dog like this, like a collar. The dog's head's right here. Spin it around. We got this bottom loop. And now we can adjust this as if it were a collar, and then it locks into place. So it won't move. They can't slip. You want to make sure you can comfortably get 2 fingers under, just like a collar. And this, then I hook to my other, well, you can't see it here, can you guys? the front little paracord thing that I made, and make sure that's pulling down, not up, or else you're kind of choking your dog. You don't want to do that. I have a video called Doodle Bad Dog is the thumbnail, that shows you how I position them on the table with the groomer's helpers. And you know, keeping your dog properly, safely, and securely on the table is really important to have success. It really is. A lot of people say, oh, I don't think you should put that on my dog. What, you want your dog to just stand on this table 4 feet in the air? You think that's safe? Because I don't. You know, I'm not doing it. So that's what we have to do. Andrew says, I tried to order the Kenchi clipper, but couldn't find it in the UK, so I settled for the Arco. Oh, Andrew, the Arco's fine too, and the Bravera, they're all fine. I do like this Kenchi one. I've been so curious about it, and I'm glad I finally decided to buy that one. And I wanted to buy it for you guys too, because it's on the newer side of the 5-in-1s, although it's a 4-in-1 clipper. It's a 10, 15, 30, and 40. It's on the newer side, you know, with the 5 speed. And I'm like, you know, this is different. This is new. Is this something that I would want to recommend to my people? I do believe in the Kenchi brands, and it was priced equivalent to the Bravera. So I was like, let's give it a shot. I like the blade better. I think it cuts better. It cuts differently. And I also really like the, what was I going to say? Jeez Louise. It's consistent. It has a little bit of a torque kick. It'll kick up the torque if it needs to. Now that's only really if I've got a really thick paw pad like a Cocker Spaniel or something. You know, it's not going to bog down. If it feels it's chewing in, you know, getting nowhere, it'll kick up a little bit of torque, just like the Wall KM10 does. I love that about that. So that's okay, Andrew. The Arco will serve you well, and especially you're using it as a you know, sanitary, feet, face. It's perfect for that. If you were trying to do full grooms, I would say no, never. But I'm not even doing full grooms with that Kenchi, so no worries. Hi, Beverly. We're so glad you're back. Yes. Sports and Gaming, Jameson says, if dogs love peanut butter, it's easy to clip their nails. Yes, well, we got a little bit of headway there with little Gus, but he was still kind of upset. We're getting there. We're not going to quit on him. Mel says, Amy, do you think I could completely groom my 9-pound toy poodle? What's it? Principe? Oh, with that small clipper. 9-pound toy poodle. The one that you tried to demo. The Bonvay. No way. That Bonvay is a piece of poo-poo. It has no torque. It won't push through the coat. I had to wash and bathe the dog just to shave the pads. It wouldn't even shave the pads out. So no, that Bonvay is never going to do the job for you, Mel, and I wouldn't want to see you waste any money. Your 9-pound toy poodle, if you properly brush it and bathe in them, and you may be able to use something like the Bravera with the snap-on combs, or the Kenchi Flash with the snap-on combs, but at that, you know, it's supposed to be able to do it. I just use my Wall KM10 when I'm clipping coat, you know, like legs, body, all that stuff. All right, so Linda says, Kenchi Flash 4-in-1. Yes, it is. It's a 4-in-1, not a 5-in-1. The Bravera is 5-in-1, which is a 9-blade, a 10-blade, 15, 30, and 40, whereas the Kenchi is just missing the 9-blade. Starts with 10, 15, 40, all that stuff. Okay? Yeah, well, you're awesome too, all y'all. I want to show you a couple clippers, guys. And I hope I've linked this one in my video description. This is my favorite nail clipper, and this is the one I was using with little Gus. And this is the one that you will see me use all the time. I buy 2 at a time. In case I destroy one, I have another one in the packaging. They're only like $5 clippers on Amazon. These are the best. They're very quiet. They're a pliers style clipper. They're very quiet. They don't pop when you trim the dog's nails. And all that matters to the dog, trust me. They're lightweight, they're easy in your hand. I mean, they're just so easy to maneuver. The only thing with these that you will have a problem with, if you have a nail that is almost wrapped into the pad and you would have to get around the nail, you can see you can't do that with this clipper. So then I have to use a style like this. Now this one has a guard on them. All clippers have these guards. You know what this is? I'll tell you in a second. But then if I had a nail that was almost in a pad, now you can see I can get up and around it to cut it. Now clippers like this, I find, make a noise, pop. The dog goes, yeah, I don't like that. You know, and same with this style of clipper. Just because it's big doesn't mean I only would use these on big dogs. I feel this is too big for me. That's why I don't use it. I use it if I have to, like I said, a hard to reach nail. Now this little guard you'll see on all the clippers is trying to give you an idea. If you set the guard like this in front of the clipping surface, if you set it like that, the guard is going to only allow you to poke the nail through that far. So it protects you from going way into your dog's quick. Not a bad thing, but you know, for a professional, I feel that limits me a lot. That's, you know, I have to go in a couple times. So I open up my guards and I just judge. But I'm used to cutting dog nails. And Styptic is another thing that you do need to have on hand. This is in case you quick your dog. It's just powder. Can you see it? It's just powder, and you lick your finger, you dip it in the powder, you get it on your finger, and then if you got a nail that's bleeding, you just press and hold it on that nail, put pressure on it for about 10 seconds. And after about 10 seconds, and putting pressure, I mean pressure, put pressure on it, and then it should be good to go. So that'll stop your dogs from bleeding if you do accidentally quick the dog a little bit, and it happens. So don't be too hard on yourself. It does happen. Karen says, when you groom, do you ever go over the same area once or multiple times in the same direction? Yes. They say it takes about 3 passes to really create a smooth little clip. So, but I don't go 1, 2, 3 over the same area. I'll go 1, move over 2, move over 3, and then I'll come back 1, 2, 3. I think anytime you're repetitiously doing anything over and over to the same area, whether it's brushing, combing, or clipping, you're possibly going to irritate the skin. So I will keep moving my passes. Then I'll go back for the second time. Then I'll go back for the third time. After about 3 passes, you should be smoothed out. That's pretty typical. So yes, if you're going over once and you're like, oh, that's not good enough, don't sweat it. We all go over that several times, okay? But I don't go over it in a row. I just move to the next area and then I come back. So that's a good question, and I'm glad that you asked it, because I bet you a lot of people wonder that same thing. Mel says, do you have links or affiliates for those clippers you recommended me, Bravera 5 and Kenchi Flash? I think the Bravera you can get on Amazon, and I think I do. I do have a link for the Bravera in last week's live stream, the 5-in-1 clipper. It might be in this one, I'm not sure. I always change my links. The Kenchi, at this point, I think the only place you can get Kenchi is by ordering it from Kenchi.com. I haven't noticed that on Amazon. So that's a good question. Amy, I do the same thing with the nail guard. You move it out of the way. I know, grooming girl Bruno. It does. It gets in your way, and you're like, okay, I don't need that. But if you guys are worried, use your guard. If you're afraid, will I go too far? Well, go ahead and put the guard away. I just typically move it out of the way. Yes, cornstarch does work, Sharon. Absolutely. That's another great tip. Thank you for sharing that. Diane says, how far back on the hind legs do you do the sanitary on a coated breed? How do I find that line? Okay, that's a good question. Well, And it depends on how much length I'm leaving on the legs and the coat, you know, the trim. But there's a muscle on the inside of the dog's leg. You can usually feel it right there. Like here's the privates, whether that's his testicles or a vulva for a girl. And when the dog's legs come down, there's this little muscle. And where the muscle turns in, that's about as far as I go down. It just cleans that whole area up where they're going to be going to the bathroom. That way they don't go to the bathroom on themselves and bring that into the house and sit on your lap, even though we'd go, oh shoot, oh well, I still love you. Right? Dog has poop on his butt. I smell poop. He's sitting on my lap. Oh, that's okay, I still love him. We are so disgusting. Animal lovers, aren't we? King the Yorkie official says, is the ear powder necessary? It's not necessary, but it's extremely helpful, especially if your dog's ears are pretty oily inside. You just won't be able to get a grip on that hair to pull it out. So that's why it's pretty essential to plucking ears. I would say yes. It takes the moisture out of the hair and allows you to get a hold of it and gently remove it. So I'd say yes, yes. Andrew says, do you clip the nails before or after the bath? That's a good question. I always do it after the bath. Now in little Gus's case today, he didn't get a bath today. He only got his nails, so it's okay to clip their nails. But I do it after the bath because the water puts moisture into the nail and it's less brittle. Sometimes you'll notice when you're clipping dogs' nails, they kind of flake off and some dog nails are brittle. So the bath kind of moisturizes that up a little bit and makes it easier for the dog and a better clip. So I usually do after the bath. Hello, Ashley Hoots. She says, whoops, why I keep losing my chat. Where did it go? She says, a little tip with the Styptic powder. Oh yes, you told me this before. She uses a little 3cc syringe, which is probably like we would give our babies medicine with. Cut the end off where the liquid comes out. Pull the plunger back. So you pull the plunger back a little and push the powder in it. And she uses that to apply it to the nail. That's a great idea. I've never tried that, and you've said, I think that's the second time you said that, Ashley. I hope everybody can understand what she's saying. That's a great idea, and it's ready to go, and it's easy to put where you want it, and then you don't have to lick your finger. Diana says, how far back? Okay, I got that one. I'm sorry, honey. Got you. All right. And Diane says, thank you. I found myself nodding as you explained. I love that. That means we're on the same page. I like it. Jamie says, I can now cut our dog nails with no blood. Of course you can, Jamie. I know you can. You just have to get in there and do it. And don't stress. Don't stress, for God's sake. You stress yourself out. Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions? I have something I would like to say. Can I raise my hand? I want to do a chat for my members. I want to do a private chat for my members. I'm going to post it on my community page because then I'll post the link there, and I'm having trouble live streaming just for my members. It's not working for me. So I found a way to get around that by watching a few videos, is to just make the link public to my members on the community tab. So I've been promising you guys, I appreciate you supporting my channel. I appreciate all of you supporting my channel. Just being here tonight, you're supporting my channel, and I appreciate that. But I want to do a little something for my members. They're paying $4.99 a month, I think it is. And I want to do something for you guys, although I did just give away a Prima bathing system. That was pretty cool. And I was so excited about that. For members only, but I'm going to be doing a live stream. Probably, I'm just looking at the lineup. This Friday is hubby's birthday, so I can't do it Friday. I've got to prepare for him. Big meal. wheel in a bunch of cakes and I don't know. It's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to tell him what I'm going to do. I'm going to make some good food. Well, it's not a surprise. He said I'm not allowed to surprise him, but it's his birthday. So I'm thinking maybe Sunday, guys. I'm going to try it in the afternoon. I'm not sure. I know we're all in different time frames. So my members, keep that in mind. Look on my community tab. There should be a notification there as to when we're going to do that, because I want to just get in front of you guys, in a very quaint small chat environment, so I can reach your questions directly and chit chat about whatever it is you guys want to chit chat about with grooming and what I can do to help you guys. Okay, so look for that. But in the meantime, I do want to say thank you to everybody for being here tonight and for being part of Go Groomer. We are doing wonderful things, and I'm so happy that we're better together right here every Monday at 5:30. Diana, I see you do have a question. She says, you have to go on the computer to find the join button, right? That's what I'm hearing. That's what everybody's saying, Diana. So I'm pretty sure that's what the deal is. Yeah, happy birthday, hubby. Yep, he's going to be 50. He's so handsome. Anyway, I got to let you guys go. I hope you enjoyed tonight, and I hope you enjoyed meeting little Gus. The next time you see him, hopefully he will be happier. I'll have to have him in a demo. I do want to do a demo on a Bulldog for him, because obviously there are specific things that we do with Bulldogs when we groom them. And I don't have a Bulldog groom on my channel. So that's coming. And you can also apply that to many other short-haired breeds too. So we will be seeing a lot more of little Gus and big Gus in the very near future. And we'll be learning from their benefits when they're in the tub, okay? Yeah, I love Bulldog grooming, Andrew. It's awesome. I'll see you guys next Monday. I might see my members on Sunday. That's what I'm hoping for, okay? So I will post that, guys, and let you know what's going on. But thank you for being here. Yes, I got a Westie one commentary. I have the footage. I'm going to try to get that one out this week. I have like 3 videos in the making. Which one do you guys want? Everybody wants something different. Hi, Debbie. I love you all. There's my Raquel with the wrench. You're all here. You're here for me every week. You're here for us. We're together. And I want you to have a good week. I will see you next Monday and hopefully have a video out for you on Friday like I did last week. That's what I shoot for, okay? I love you guys. Take care. Here's a subscriber showdown.
Very important that you all be good to each other, and practice the social distancing. So you shouldn't sniff other people's legs, and you really shouldn't sniff their crotches until this whole thing is over. That's social responsibility. So I'm here if you need me, and I'm really wishing you some good luck. Okay? All right. Bye.